Throughout all of human history, we haven't exactly had the best luck when it comes to plagues. This features the bubonic plague from the 1300s, smallpox, the Spanish flu, and even more recently, obviously COVID-19, which is all very unfortunate, but I decided what if today we screw modern medicine and actually try to do something about it. And by this I mean spawning in a single, super overpowered, omnipotent plague doctor. And yeah, our budget is kind of low though, so we can only afford one of them. But we are going to thrust them into this world full of 1,000 humans, and after we give them some time to develop, we will unleash a deadly plague across the whole land, where quite literally the only way to stop it will be through her. This is going to be absolutely insane because the entire world could just die out and we fail, or slowly over time, we see the plague doctors slowly save more and more people until we get to a certain point where the plague no longer exists. Let's get right into it. So as we click unpause, you'll see a number of kingdoms pop up all around the world, and go ahead and spawn in our plague doctor. We want to put her in a good location so she can do as much good as possible. So we're going to go right here in the middle of Germany, because nothing has ever gone wrong in Germany before. Her name will be Dr. Plague, and yes, that is a very odd name because her name is Dr. Plague, which means you will actually call her Dr. Plague, who is a plague doctor. So saying it all out loud together would be Dr. Plague, the plague doctor. Just make sure you never mess that up or she will kill you immediately. And she will be wielding her trusty weapon, the medicine stick. Look at those powers right there, plus 38 damage. Holy crap, she might cause more harm than good with that. But now it's time to give her some really good traits so she can practice medicine. I think I might just be making the doctor from TF2. And so here are her traits right here. You may think that I just picked the most OP ones possible, but that's not quite the case. I tried to make her as fast and as powerful as possible. So she didn't get the giant trait because that reduces her speed, but she did get the healing aura trait, which is going to be a very important one because it restores health and cures the plague of creatures around it, which will become super important later on. And then, you know, more or less the same good stuff over here, including she's shiny. There's no reason for that. I just thought it'd be cool. However, we are not done yet because now we have to make her as powerful as possible here in the subspecies too, so she can practice more medicine. And now her subspecies is good to go too. Most importantly are her talents, obviously the gift of harmony so she can actually cure illness, and even the gift of blood so she can also heal those who she tries to cure as well. After editing a few more stats, she has 5.4 million health and 782 speed so she can get from point A to point B almost immediately, and finally unleash her onto the world. And she is so fast that she quite literally almost just teleports whenever she decides to move. But as you can see, she's not really doing that much right now. Peaceful Monsters is on, so hopefully these humans are smarter than to just try and kill her. But I mean, I am looking over here at France right now, so I really shouldn't be surprised if it happens. And by the way, as you probably could tell, we are playing on the Europe map, and the reason for that is because, well, out of all those plagues I mentioned earlier, Europe typically gets the short end of the straw every time. But right now, all these civilizations are living in perfect harmony because old age and hunger are turned off, meaning pretty much no way for these guys to even die. I mean, looking right now, there are 0 total deaths at all. But diplomacy and rebellions are still on, mainly so when the plague does happen, war would make it spread even more. But for right now, there's really nothing going on. Dr. Plague, the plague doctor, you have to say it every time, by the way, is chilling right now in Germany, and we're going to give these kingdoms some time to develop and sim until the plague is released, which in our case is going to be year 250, 1/4 to the way of our goal. And let's see what the world looks like then. And here we are at year 250, and unsurprisingly, when I gave these guys the power to kill each other, they promptly decide to shockingly kill each other. And there has essentially been war going on this entire time lapse, but despite that, world population is 6 times higher than it was when we started. And honestly, there's so many people now that my game is starting to lag, so these guys actually might be a little due for, you know, a plague to kill most of them. But looking at the map, we can see that Dr. Plague, the plague plague doctor is currently up here in Sweden, which is probably the best place for them to live. But let's see how they're doing. Exactly the same. No kills at all, which is honestly probably what we're hoping for, but you know, I thought there was a chance. But before we actually start this plague, I just want to see where these total deaths came from. Some creatures eaten, a few burnings, but obviously conflict. But absolutely zero from the plague. But that's about to change real soon. But now it is finally time to get this disease started. In real life, the real bubonic plague started in Sicily, but since no one is here, we are going to instead settle for France. Mainly just because I can. So we grab the plague right here from our powers, and we are quite literally just going to spread it across the entire borders of this country. And just like that, in an instant, 311 people are now infected, which by doing the math is only roughly 5% of the entire population of the world. However, this number will skyrocket quickly, especially as we can already see that their army is moving in for the giant war with Russia. That's gonna be bad. So all that we can pray for is that our plague doctor goes over and heads into Russia and begins trying to cure these people. But at this point, we have nothing to do but wait and let the plague take its course. However, I do want to show one thing for future reference. If we look at the actual immune trait, we can see that only 34 humans currently have it, and we're going to be tracking this number to see how it goes up over these next 750 years, which is basically going to be our judge of how well the plague doctor is actually doing. And also, one more random thing is that the UK's auto-generated kingdom name is Villainar. It has the word villain in it, and their motto is truth, honor, tea. Okay, this might just be the real UK. And Ireland's motto is poison or depression. You know, fair enough, honestly. But anyway, now we are going to sim all the way to year 500, which means we're going to let the plague run for another 250 years, and we're going to see what state the world is in as well. However, during this time lapse, I will show you this tab over here as well, so you can see how many people are infected at any given moment. And here we are at year 500. As we can see, the plague has absolutely decimated the world. Well over 20,000 more people have died since last time. Currently, 79% of the remaining world population is still infected. However, right now, there are exactly 500 people who are not infected too, which if you were paying attention to the time lapse, is actually a lot better than earlier. However, another issue that these guys have is that they are constantly at war with everybody. I don't think I've ever seen a world like this where everyone is just constantly beating the crap out of each other, but that's not helping anything either, especially not the spread of disease. But as we go in to look at Dr. Plague, the Plague Doctor, we are seeing that once again, they're doing a-okay. It's actually not that interesting to follow just them themselves, because there's no way to actually see any of their stats, like how many people they've killed. So the only way to check is by looking how many civilized people have the immune trait, which is now all the way up to 446. So it's clear that the Plague Doctor has definitely had something in the hand of more people being killed, because that's almost exactly the amount of people who are non-infected. There's only like 50 people who are not immune, who are not infected. So once again, Dr. Plague, the Plague Doctor, has come in clutch. But with all that said, let's take a look at the deaths now. Over 27,000 of them, and yeah, over half of them are from the plague. That is absolutely insane, because deaths from conflict haven't even surpassed 10,000 yet, even though, as we've seen, conflict has been going on this entire time. And I also like how there's 750 creatures eaten as well, even though these guys just do not need to eat at all, so they're just eating it for the love of the game. Oh, well, I think I figured out the kingdom that's been eating everybody. The Villeroy Kingdom, with their motto, all hail food. God, I just love these auto-generated mottos. But anyway, that is pretty much all that's going on for year 500. All we can hope for is that Dr. Plague, the Plague... Okay, I'm done saying that. All we can hope for is that Dr. Plague continues to heal people, and this infection slowly subsides. But once again, we are now going to simulate to year 750, 3/4 of the way to our goal, and I'll see you guys then. And here we are at year 750, and as you can tell, some serious progress has been made. I don't know if it was a new generation of immune people, or maybe the disease is just not as powerful, but only just a couple of years ago during that time lapse, the infected number has plummeted all the way down to just 200 right now, which looking it up is only 4.5% of the world population, less than when it started. However, the disease has taken its toll severely though, as nearly 47,000 people are dead. Looking at it, almost double the amount of deaths from plague, almost 30,000 total. While in comparison, conflict hasn't even increased that much. So coming in to Miss Dr. Plague right here, she has clearly done a fantastic job. Looking at the immune trait, holy crap, over 3,000 humans have it now, including some mobs too, so I guess the sheep will be okay from this plague. But like, that's literally like almost the entire world at this point. I think this devastating plague that has killed so many is probably nothing more than just like the flu at this point to these guys. Although I guess I should say slightly different than the flu. Ironically, this kingdom over here in Ireland with the motto poison or depression is still here. I guess when you have a motto like that, no one probably really wants to take you over, so that's why they've been okay. But also another interesting thing I guess you could mention about them is that they're an island, which means it's actually very hard for the plague to even get over here in the first place. So I bet that's part of the reason why they've been safe this whole time. But so far, while everything has been great and just getting better, and this world is once again returning to the peaceful state that it started with, I do have to say that, like you saw, these guys still continue to try to beat the crap out of each other. So, you know, I'm actually gonna do something here, something that the plague doctor can't fix. Turn on angry villagers. I've been so fed up with these guys going to war. Even during the middle of the biggest plague you've ever seen in your life, these guys still find the time to kill each other. So I'm gonna let them. But anyway, now we're going to see if we can finally completely eradicate what is left of the plague as we simulate to year 1000. I'll see you guys then. And here we are at year 1000. Surprisingly, the total number of infected actually went up, but I guess if you think about it, it makes sense since literally everyone was at war now and killing each other, so it was a lot easier for it to spread. But speaking of that, there's also a lot less people now too, so honestly, it's not even a bad strategy. I mean, how are you supposed to have a disease if there's no one alive to actually catch it? These are the things that a lot of people don't even think about. But zooming into our plague doctor for one final time, Dr. Plague, the plague doctor, finishes pretty neutral with all of her stats. She is very humble. However, she did actually end up getting a kill. I'm not even going to question how that's possible, but compared to that one life she took, she has saved a lot of them. As we can see here, pretty much everybody who's not infected is immune to the plague, which is absolutely awesome to see. So quite literally, despite just walking around the map all alone by themselves, Dr. Plague has saved thousands of lives. But in total, in just the past 1000 years, 65,000 people have died. Holy crap. But in that past time lapse, only 3,000 of them were from the plague, while almost 14,000 of them are from conflict. That is mildly concerning. So I think it's safe to say, moral of the story, even if you turn off the need for hunger, turn off the people's ability to die from old age, and even turn off all diseases in the world, humans will still find a way to die. But anyway, if you're still watching at this point in the video, clearly I did something to entertain you, so I'd appreciate it if you would click like and subscribe, and also join my Discord too, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.